friends, and welcome back to Darvanalee Designs Studio. For those that don't know, my name is Nicole and today is the 10th of February and we're here for a daily crafting vlog. So let's get started. Good morning or good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here today and spending some time with me. Today is Monday, which means it's the start of a working week, and if you remember on a Friday or Saturday I said that I was going to be taking it pretty easy today after a really long, large weekend of reading sprints and everything. So today the plan is to just go a little bit slow and be gentle on myself and just get Jenny's quilt done and possibly even Leanne's bag cut. I didn't get them done on the weekend. I ended up just doing a lot of crafting, and then yesterday when I planned to do a lot of the stuff, I had to help my husband out with my car because I've been having car problems, and so yeah, there was a bit of toing and froing with that. I had to help him move it, and then I was doing reading sprints and I didn't get hardly anything read. I think I only listened to about an hour and a half of my book, but I did manage to get into the room that I'm turning into a diamond painting room. Now when I say it's a room, it's not very big. It's probably about 2 meters by, I don't know, 3 meters, so it's not overly a big room. Well, that's still, it's a decent size, but you can't put a bed or anything. Like, you can fit a single day bed in there and that's about it. No chest of drawers or anything like that, just a bed under the window. And originally that's what we had it as. It was originally my little office at first, and then of course things got bigger and bigger, so I ended up moving out here. And then it was a little like single bed there for a little while, just for, you know, if you wanted to have lay down, read a book or whatever. I had a little day bed in there, but then it just became a junk room because we didn't have that. We didn't need the bed in there anymore. It was Mia's playroom for a little while as well. Like, it's had many different titles over the years, and we've lived in this house since 2011. So it has had many, many titles. You'll have to excuse my voice today because I have pretty much talked all weekend. If I hadn't been talking online, I've been talking on the phone. And if I wasn't talking on the phone, I was talking to my friends online. It's been a big week. So I think I need a little bit of a quiet day. But I am online today on someone else's channel. You know, life of a YouTuber and, you know, social butterfly, I guess. And but it's our book club day today. And we're on Coda's channel. So and that is your best booktube bestie, Coda, and we are on there every Sunday, Monday. So Monday for me, Sunday for him, because he's in the US, in Colorado. So, and we're book besties for sure, and besties as just besties all round across all the things. We hang out a lot, we talk a lot. It's like we've known each other forever, and we're just really good mates. And it's really nice to have someone like that you can talk to and you know, vent to and all that sort of stuff. So it's really good. So I'm going to be hanging out with him today. So that is awesome. But as I said, I'm going to be a little bit gentler on myself today and just take it easy. And I'm going to sit right where those bags and Jenny's quilt is. I'm going to sit there in the lovely aircon. And I'm going to stitch that binding down, and if I get time today after doing that, I will cut up Leanne's bag and get that made and show you the finished product of that. And I've got 2 bags there that I possibly could get to. I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. And I've still got a little bit of prep work to do for filming, to get back into filming again for tutorials and stuff. So I'm not sure that a tutorial is going to go out this week, but we'll have to wait and see when that goes out. And other than that, I've just got to sit down and do my Monday morning ritual of writing down everything I want to achieve and all that sort of stuff. Stitch with me will probably get done at some stage today as well, ready for tomorrow's video. Because my priority is, and that's the good thing about working for yourself, you can shift things around and make things a priority. Now, last week there was a lot of setting up and getting things done and all that sort of stuff. This week it's going to be an action week. As I said, I've got a quilt over there that I have finished that I need to pull out and load the next one in. So yeah, so it's going to be another productive week. I feel like it's going to be very productive. I am so excited about the things that I'm getting finished, the plans I've put in place. I've got it all set up. You know, like I've got my sewing room all set up now, and you can see over here, that's where my slow stitching is going to live for a little while until I get that done. And I think that plan is a really good plan. If you didn't see yesterday's video, I talked a little bit about it, and I also talked a little bit about it on Saturday as well. But basically what I'm going to do now is basically get all those felts cut out, all the wool felt cut out, and then I'm going to stitch all the fancy stitches later. So once I've got everything down, then I can go in and do all the fancy stitches, embroidery, whatever you want to call it on that. But that's enough of my waffling. I know you want to see my check-in on my little Santa, so let's turn the camera around and see what I got done. Okay, so I got a little bit more done last night. I clamped this in and made it a little bit easier to do two-handed stitching. I did half of the leg, but I was pretty tired after sprint, so I didn't get too much done. But it's coming together quite nicely, and I'm liking how quick it actually is going. Tonight I have the opportunity to stitch on it a little bit longer, and I've got an audio book that I've got to listen to, so I will probably do a good couple of hours on that, because I feel like I got a lot of rest last night, and I'm not feeling really tired right now, and I'm only going to be taking it easy today with binding and a couple of other things if I get to them at all. The binding is my main concern, but I'm liking how it's coming together. So there's probably another 3 or 4 rows to come down. So it should come down to about here, and that'll have the white and the other colors. And this is all down here around this edge, and up in this edge here there is another color of red that's going to go into that. But the progress is there. I think I spent about an hour last night, a little under an hour maybe, before my eyes just started to get pretty tired, because I didn't finish sprints until late last night, about 8 o'clock. Well, that's not that late, but still it was late enough. All right, so that is my progress. Okay, so as you can see, it's going to get done pretty quickly. I predict that I'm going to get this done pretty much by Wednesday morning. So that means that Peppermint Lane blocks will come out. So, and I'm pretty excited about that, because that means that I'll get a couple of extra days on that, and possibly get into the second block, which would be nice if I could do that by Friday week. That would be absolutely fantastic. And I've got my sewing day on, my stitchy day on Saturday, and I believe we're going out to lunch afterwards, and so that's going to be nice. I haven't gone out to lunch with the girls for a while. We've always made up at stitching and stuff, and we've gone to retreats and whatnot, but it'd be nice to just go out and have a nice meal, even if it's just a sandwich for me. I don't like to eat heavy meals during the day, but we'll see how we go, because then I've got to drive home, so it'll definitely just be a light meal for me, because I don't want to drive on a full stomach, and it'll be a 3-hour drive for me, so to get home. So it's going to be a pretty long day. And it will be starting bright and early, so I'll have lots of coffee. But anyway, I'm going to go, speaking of coffee, I'm going to go and make myself my morning coffee. It is 8:30 right now, and I'm getting ready to get onto sprints at 9 o'clock. So I want to get coffee in and get all of my stuff in my head out and onto paper, and then that way I can go into the working week with a clear mind. All right, I will see you at the end of the vlog.
Oh, hi everybody. Alright, so I am going to, I've just got off being on the live stream for the next hour and a half. So I'm going to sit down and make a start on Jenny's quilt. As you can see, I have all my tools. I have my little pin cushion, which there is a pattern to how to make the little flower pin cushion on the channel. I've got some wonder clips which help me hold the binding in place, and that's what I'm just setting up for now. Just makes it easier, don't have to keep rolling it over. Don't always use them, but it just makes life a little bit easier just putting them on, and then I can fluff around with it as I get closer to it. And it also stops you from, you know, gone are the days where we used pins to hold everything in place with binding and whatnot, so you don't actually stick yourself as much now. But I have this little, to make it super easy for me, because I do this on a daily basis, well, not a daily basis, but I do this quite regularly. I have this little box that's very trashed. It's got a couple of pin cushions in the top, and then it's got this seam in it, and it just opens up, and I have all of my things that I need to use for my binding. So it's got scissors and everything, so I know that I can just grab this, and it's got all different colors of thread in there. So I've got a couple of different shades of cream, and I've also got some other stuff in here as well for hand stitching. I've got black, I've got sage green, I've got spare scissors, pinks, oranges. I've just got a rainbow of colors in here that help me to do the binding. So basically it just makes life a little bit easier just to be able to grab this and pick it up and take it to whatever room I need it. And so yeah, I enjoy having this. It usually sits in the lounge room, and as I said, it's got pin cushions that I can use as well. But when I'm binding, I generally have this sitting away from me, and I just have this one here, so I stick it in there because you know, I have lost the needle or two in the couch, and then someone has found it in their backside. So yeah, so this it'll probably take me a good few hours to stitch this down. So this is the main project that I'm going to be doing today, and then of course once I get closer to finishing this off, even if I've got to go into tonight. Basically, I will probably stop doing this because my hands will start to get a little bit sore, have a bit of a break from it, do something else, and then come back to this a bit later. But yeah, so I just do the binding in my own time. I double my thread, and then I just sit here and I stitch, and I generally listen to an audio book or something like that and pass the time away. And sometimes I'll actually just sit here. Like right now it's very quiet in the neighborhood, and so like I'll have the occasional car go past, but the birds I'll start to hear all the birds, and sometimes I just take that moment and sit here and just relax and enjoy the peace and quiet. Just the white noise of the humming of the air conditioning and the chirping of the birds, and occasionally the cat will come. And when I'm doing people's quilts, I don't have my cats inside because they want to sit on me and stuff like that. So I tend to, they never come out into the craft room because I have other people's things here, and I don't know what allergies people have. So I don't want to run the risk of, maybe one of the cats brush up against it or something like that. Occasionally, if I've got no stuff in here and I'm on a break or whatever, there's a spot just up the back here that one of my cats will sit on, and there's a piece of old calico that sits over that, and that's what she sits on, and I've trained her that that's where she sits and that's where she stays. The other two cats, that's Voodoo. She's our newest cat, and the other two cats, they're just too cheeky. They just think that they rule the roost and they go wherever they want, so they're not allowed to actually come out here at all. Whereas Voodoo's quiet, she's very sedate, she'll just curl up and sleep the day away, and then be a menace at night. So yeah, but I really enjoy the movement and the almost like the zen of doing the binding. I can really get into a story. A lot of time right now I'm listening to Beautiful Chaos. I'm just about to start that, and that's for the Seriously Serious book club that I co-host with my friend Coda, and we've just finished the novella from that, which was called Dream Dark, and it's got the witchy vibes and all the things are happening in it, and it's just following a story of Ethan and Elle, which is what he calls her. I think her name's Lena, and or Lana, and basically, yeah, she's worried that she's going to go dark, and she's fighting against it, and he's in love with her, and it's set in the deep south of America, and it's actually really good. The narration is from his point of view as well, so it's been really good. And I've just been borrowing those books from the library and listening to them, and that's what I plan to do today. So and we just read, like today we've got 124 pages to read or listen to, so that's going to be a lot of just zoning out and really being in the zone of it. Sometimes though I like to listen to historical fiction while I'm doing a little bit of craft, and especially when I'm doing like patchwork or doing a binding like I am now, and I'll listen to some historical fiction. And one of my favourite books that I listened to while I was binding was The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams, and she's an Australian author, and absolutely wonderful book. And I'm currently in the midst of reading and listening because I actually pre-ordered the audiobook, and then a lovely friend from BookTube sent me the book, which is the Bookbinder of Jericho. So set around the same time as the first book, and basically it's I haven't got very far into it. I think I'm about 2 or 3 chapters into that. So once I'm finished listening to my pages today, I'll probably listen to that and get that off my TBR, because Sadia sent it to me, and I want to read it, and just I've already thanked her, but I wanted to know that I have actually read it. So yeah, so that's sort of the books that I'm going to listen to today. I'm actually looking forward to the Bookbinder of Jericho, because it is from because everybody's gone off to war, and they're the women are left behind, and so they're that's sort of where I'm up to at the moment, and we're following the story of 2 sisters in that one, so it's going to be wonderful. I've got a couple other books on the go as well. I've got a couple other book club books on the go that I need to be finished up this week. One of them is Children of the Fallen Gods, which is Carissa, Broadbent. So I've got to finish that up. I think I've got a couple of hours left on that audiobook. I've been doing a lot of audiobooks lately, and also using a app called Speechify, and then that way I can still craft and get to read my books. I like to finish the day with a book, like I curl up in bed and read something with my eyes, and I generally have been doing classics of late for that one, but I finished my classic the other day, which was Wilkie Collins' The Law and the Lady, which I absolutely loved. And yeah, so I am now replacing it with what's it called, Wicked Pleasures by Penny Vicente. And I come across this author because of my lovely friend Chrissy recommended me read No Angel, which was centered around the time of the Titanic and the First World War, and around a family that was in publishing. I still have 2 books left in that trilogy to do. I think I've got the second one on my shelf right now, and I've just been getting them secondhand. I have a vendor at a local market here, and he goes around to all the different markets and he sells secondhand books. So a lot of the time he actually finds the books for me, and then I just go and pick them up and I get them for $2 each. So and that's the only way I'm sort of buying books at the moment. Excuse me. So yeah, so but this one I got from him. It was one he picked up, and he said, "Do you want it?" I said, "Yeah, I want to read a lot. I want to read all of the back catalogue." So yeah, so I've got that there, and so that will probably that's going to replace my. I do have another classic that I could pick up, but I think I might just mix it up a little bit and read that. And it's called, as I said, it's called Wicked Pleasures. I'm not entirely sure what it's about because I don't generally read synopses. Because I find that they spoil the book for me, and then I don't enjoy the books as much. I like to go into my books totally blind. And if you like listening about books and seeing what I'm reading and all that sort of stuff, you can actually come over to Dusty Book Sniffers. I do regular updates there on things that I'm reading separate from this channel. And I am about to start reading the Women's Prize for Fiction books as soon as the long list is announced. I'm not doing the non-fiction, I'm just doing the fiction. That's what I've done every year, and I'm just going to stick with that because they now have a non-fiction section of it as well. And it's really good because I found so many wonderful authors from that little list that comes out every March. So I'm really happy with doing that again this year. So I usually have a lot of content over on Dusty Book Sniffers for that, such as a prediction list. I try and predict what's going to be on the list. It's always a long shot. Like, I think there's been a couple of books that I've got right, and it's been with the help of a friend over on BookTube. Chris is a subscriber and also follows the list, and we've been talking this year about different books. There's been a couple of changes to publication dates. I haven't read these books. These are just there's a couple that I have read, but some of these books are just pure. They have that vibe and all that sort of stuff. But it's just a lot of fun that we do. There's lots of content around that over there as well. And then of course the list comes out, and and then I get stuck into it. So and I read those in the month of, I've got 4 weeks. Normally we have 6 weeks, but they've actually reduced it down to 4 weeks this year. So that means that I have 4 weeks to read 16 books. A lot of the books I can't get here, so a lot of them I have to get on Kindle or audio. Sometimes I can get the book because it's been released both in the UK and here. So a lot of time I've got to try and grab the books where I can, and all that sort of stuff. But I have Speechify this year to help me out a little bit, and that is an AI generated reading app that I use. And I have Gwyneth a lot of the time. For a couple of books lately, I've had Gwyneth Paltrow read to me, so that's been nice. And you've got a myriad of different voices and all that sort of stuff. So And so you can swap it around. And so if you've got a book that's by a male perspective, you can have a guy read it to you. You can have an English person, an Australian person, or there's also French versions as well. And you can have someone read from the UK. So if it's a book that's published and set in the UK, you can have a UK person reading it to you. It's not perfect, but for me it's really good because I can sit down at cross stitch at night and have that playing. I just had Gwyneth Paltrow read me the Wilkie Collins book, Law and the Lady, because it was from female perspective, and she has such a smooth voice as well. So it was really good. If you get the right narrator on there, you can just so fall into the story, and it makes it so enjoyable. So yeah, that's what I did with that one. And there's been, because I like to read horror as well, there was a couple of horror books, and you can get voices that have that abrasive feel to them, which really suits the horror genre. So there's been a couple of books that I've had those sort of voices, and so it's really good. And my daughter also uses it for university as well, because you can load PDFs or EPUBs into it, and and basically you can add that in, and then you just listen to it, and you can have it sped up, or you can listen to it as slow as you want, especially if it's like a document that you've got to take notes from and all that stuff. You can slow it down a little bit, so you can summarize, and it's just a great app for that sort of stuff. I mainly got it, I accidentally got it. What happened was I trialed it, and I thought, it might be a good tool for Savannah, and so I trialed it, and then I forgot to cancel the trial, so I accidentally ended up with a premium service for a year, which is fine. It's turned out to be really good and really, really helpful as well. And it's been good in that aspect. I'm actually using it for reading Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Now, if you've seen that book, that's a chunky book, and I'm doing a read along for that at the moment. And I'm using it for that because there's a lot of French words, and I am no good at pronunciations of other languages. I've never learnt to speak another language, and so I struggle a little bit. I mean, I can use Google and all that sort of stuff, but they actually say it quite nicely, and with the inflections on it and all that sort of stuff, so it works for that. And as I said, Savannah's actually used it quite a bit. I will leave a link down below. Like, it's not a sales pitch or anything, it's just what I use, but there is a link down below if that is something that you want to get for your kids or whatever, and it gives you $60 off the premium subscription for 12 months. So yeah, I'll leave that down there for you, and you can go and check it out for yourself. But yeah, you can play around with it for a couple of days and see if you like it, especially if you're an avid reader but you've struggled to find audiobooks. It was a way for me to save money too, because a lot of time I have books on Kindle, and I'm buying them on Kindle and all that sort of stuff. But also with NetGalley, I can use it for NetGalley, and I can actually read so just going back to the Kindle, if I want to read a book on my Kindle but I have to sit there and physically read it, that means that I can't really do any craft or anything like that. And so I can actually have the Speechify read my Kindle book to me as well. So it's saving me money of not having to buy, I'll go to the library and try and find the audio that way, but it's also saving me money as well. Like, even though I spent money to save money. Does that make sense? So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm a great advocate of it, and Savannah actually really has used it quite a bit as well. And you can store your stuff in there, and you've got it on the app, on the phone. You can have it up on your computer, which is what I do a lot of the time, so I'm not using my phone all the time. But yeah, so that's sort of what I'm going to be doing today while doing this binding. And it's not going to take me long, because while I've been talking to you, I've only got this much left to go, and I'll be at the end of the first row. And of course I will take pictures of this when I am finished it, so you don't need to worry there. I will actually take some pictures and show you what it looks like in its entirety. And remember, I do have a little bit to unpick on this because of where the machine went a bit wobbly. And some of the other things I want to get today, which I've already touched on, is I want to unload that quilt that is in the long arm machine, and that way I can load up the next one. Whether I get that loaded up today or tomorrow morning, I don't know. So and I was thinking about I talked about doing the filming and all that sort of stuff of a tutorial. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait until these 5 quilts are done, and then I know that I've got free time to get more filming done and all that sort of stuff. So I do have some tutorials that will be going out. Oh, there's that. I'll just put that there. I do have some tutorials that will be going out already done, so I'm going to get them sorted and get them online. I may have to re-edit them and whatnot in some cases, and yeah, but I will get that sorted and get them up, get at least one up in the next week until I'm back to filming tutorials again. I sort of wanted to step away from the tutorials a little bit, but a lot of people have been asking me, am I going to be putting them more out and all that sort of stuff. So who am I to argue with the people? I'm going to be putting some stuff out. They won't be as often as they were. So it might be once every couple of weeks, or just, you know, when I can get to it. Because remember, the motto of this year is to be kind to myself and not burn myself out, and just take it nice and slow. And that's sort of what I'm doing right now. Is today is a slow day because I had a big days on the weekend, and I just sort of know if I keep pushing too hard and have really big days and all that sort of stuff, I'm going to get tired and whatnot. So yeah, so I'm just slowly doing things. I got the diamond painting room cleaned out, which is good, and so that is now ready to pull everything else out. And then so on Friday I will endeavor to mop that all out and start washing down the walls, and yeah, then next week I'll be able to assemble my desk if I don't do it this week. And it is on my list to do this week, but just in case I don't get to it, at least I have, you know, I've got it on the list. So that will help me. And I didn't have to carry too much over from last week. We have the quilt blocks, this quilt, and the bag, 2 bags that I didn't make last week, so I've added them onto the list for this week. So hopefully I will get them done. But I do, as I said, I do have a bit of sewing to do today, so I'll probably end up getting those sorted, and then I can start ironing the other ones and getting all the bits and pieces onto that. So you can see here, it's just setting off really lovely. I think it's an absolute perfect binding for it. So it looks lovely, and then that's what it looks like on the back. So it's coming along nicely. Good choice there, Jenny. That goes just, yeah, I love these colors. Absolutely love these colors. And you know, there's nothing more relaxing than just sitting under a quilt and doing the binding. And this will be going to Jenny on the weekend, so she'll receive her quilt on the weekend, which will be good. And I'm sure she'll be very happy to have it back and to be able to sit under it and enjoy it. Okay, so I have turned the last corner, but unfortunately I'm going to have to duck out. I've got to go and do some errands, and it is now 2:30 and I've got to make the bank and everything today, so I'm going to duck out and do that. But as you can see, we have the binding all going on here, nice and lovely. It's looking fabulous. As you can see on the back too, it matches in nice and perfectly. But I've only got this one side to go, so I'm probably going to finish that tonight, if not tomorrow. I didn't get to a lot of stuff today. I've just had a lot of phone calls and all the rest of it, hence why I've got to now head out and go and do some errands and whatnot, especially for my husband, a couple of regos and stuff. So I'm going to go and check those and make sure that they're all okay. Got to get to the bank as well before it closes. So it's going to be a bit of a rush afternoon. But thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you being here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check the little bell icon to all notifications, and then that way you're not going to miss out on anything. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up down below as well, and leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite thing that you crafted today was. And if you're not feeling chatty, just leave me a couple of emojis. I love the heart ones or the sewing needle ones. But that is it from me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.